Hey guys, welcome back. In this video I would like to go over something I mentioned in my Why I'm an MRA video, and that is the sentencing disparity or the gender disparity when it comes to sentencing in court. Now I found several studies, which I'll link to in the description below and show up on screen, that show that women get less time in prison than a man for the exact same crime. Now, can we say this is due to sexism? We don't know, but women tend to get less time in prison for the same crime. I'll also include up on screen some examples of a woman getting away with a crime, i.e. not going to prison for the same crime that a man goes to prison for. I have this abstract from a study done by Sonia B. Starr from the University of Michigan Law from 2012. Now bear with me, I'm not very good at reading, so This paper assesses gender disparities in federal criminal cases. It finds large gender gaps favoring women throughout the sentencing length distribution, averaging over 60%, conditional on arrest offence, criminal history, and other pre-charge observables. Female arrestees are also significantly likelier to avoid charges and convictions entirely, and twice as likely to avoid incarceration if convicted. Prior studies have reported much smaller sentence gaps because they have ignored the role of charging, plea bargaining, and sentencing fact-finding in producing sentences. Most studies control for endogenous severity measures that result from these earlier discretionary processes and uses samples that have been windowed by them. I avoid these problems by using a linked dataset tracing cases from arrest through sentencing. Using this decomposition methods, I show that most sentence disparity arises from decisions at the earlier stages and use rich data to investigate causal theories for these gender gaps. Now, what that is basically saying is that women are less likely to be charged, and if they are charged, they're less likely to face prison. I will link to the full study in the description below, so you can go and have a read for yourself. It's an interesting read. But now I'd like to focus and show some examples of this happening in real life. Some very similar cases and very different outcomes for the people charged. The first one I would like to show you is the one I touched on in my previous video. Two deaf paedophile sisters who abused a boy, 6, for over a decade dodged prison because judge said they'll be too isolated because obviously they're deaf. Whereas a man who was seeking sex with a 13-year-old was jailed for 3.5 years for not even touching the girl. I'll include these in the video, and I will also link the articles in the description below. In this one, a woman who treated police like a personal punch bag avoids jail after her 11th attack, whereas a man has been jailed for punching a cop. He got 6 weeks in prison for punching the police once. Now, if that's not a sentencing gap, I do not know what is. She's got away with 11 attacks on police, whereas a man hit the cop once and got arrested and charged and put in prison for it. Here we have a woman who avoids jail despite stabbing her ex-partner in the chest, whereas a man is jailed for terrible domestic violence after he punched girlfriend so hard he ruptured her spleen. Now, I agree he should be in prison, but so should she. The man that got stabbed by his ex-partner had to be resuscitated when he got to hospital. He basically died, and she's got away with domestic violence and probably attempted murder. And last but not least, woman 42 avoids jail after drugs and theft offences, Taunton Court latest. Whereas a North Ayrshire man is jailed for theft, jailed for 18 months for basically the same offence that a woman has just avoided jail for. I will leave out this video or end this video with a quote from a page I will give to you in the link description below. Men are subject to massive gender discrimination in the criminal justice system. If male offenders were treated in the same way as female offenders, there would be only 1/6 of the number of men in prisons. About 68,000 men would not be in prison if they were female, leaving a male prison population of only 13,000. Now, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this video so far. If you've got this far, thank you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day. Goodbye.